As we inch closer and closer to the midterm elections, where Democrats at this particular moment are pretty much set to take over the House of Representatives, they may or may not win the Senate back, but at this point, winning the Senate back in terms of getting rid of Donald Trump may not actually matter. You know, there was a great article that I read recently that talked about the fact that Donald Trump does not have the support he needs in the Senate to survive an impeachment fight. And the reason for that all has to do with Jeff Sessions. Donald Trump was right that he should not have picked Jeff Sessions to be his attorney general, but not because he recused himself from the Russia investigation, but because his nonstop attacks on Jeff Sessions for recusing himself have pissed off all of Sessions' friends that are still in the U.S. Senate, and most of whom not up for re-election this year, so they're still going to be there even if that blue wave does come. And they're loyal to Sessions, not to Donald Trump. Right now, there are 51 Republican senators in the U.S. Senate. Would have been 52 if the Republicans in Alabama hadn't put up Roy Moore, who liked to go after underage girls, but they made that horrible mistake, and so they gave us Democrat Doug Jones, so they're in a bit of a bind at this point. 51 Republicans. That means if the House ever voted to convict, and we're assuming that that 51 number stays strong after the midterms, if the House, taken over by Democrats, votes to impeach and then goes to the Senate, we have to flip two. We only have to flip 2 Republican senators to remove this man from office and get a conviction. That's not that hard. When you consider the fact that we already have people like Rubio and Mitch McConnell in the Senate willing to call Donald Trump out for lying about what actually happened with the so-called Spygate. And that's where Jeff Sessions comes back in. Jeff Sessions spent 21 years in that U.S. Senate. A lot of his friends are still there. Most of them are still there. And as the article I mentioned earlier, you can find a link to it in the description of this video, talks about, that's a very tight-knit group. It's only 100 people out of 300 plus million in this country. 100. They have each other's backs, even if they're on the opposite side of the political aisle. They do like each other behind closed doors. They're going to stand up for Sessions before they stand up for Donald Trump. And as they've even admitted, Donald Trump has attempted on multiple occasions to get rid of Jeff Sessions, but they have had to step in and tell him that he cannot fire him because they're not going to vote to approve another attorney general. So Trump at this point is between a rock and a hard place. He can either keep attacking Sessions and piss off his Republican allies in the Senate so that they will not protect him from impeachment, or, and this is actually the less likely option that the president will pick, he can stop tweeting attacks at Jeff Sessions, stop attacking him in rallies, and just let the investigation play itself out and see what happens. That's not the kind of guy Donald Trump is, so he's going to do what he always does. He's going to continue to shoot himself in the foot on every single issue, and in the end, prove to this country that Donald Trump was his own worst enemy and caused all of these problems himself.